Samba was first to arrive tonight. I'm unsure who this is as they ran off too quick. Kenny deciding to come home after he'd been out for quite a while. And I went to let him in. Again, I'm unsure as to who this is. And Samba decided to come back to eat the food that I had left out for the foxes. Pip decided to show his face and then decided that he would go in his normal spot up on the wall. And off he went again. Pip came back again. On closer inspection you can see a little mark above his eyes. Now I don't know if that's just a little fight mark or a little injury or if it is the starting of mange, but I have been putting homeopathic mange drops in the sandwiches and Pip has been eating them along with Daphne and the other foxes, so fingers crossed it would keep it at bay should it be the start of mange, but I obviously will be keeping a close eye on him. And off he goes. Pip was back again in under a minute. And off he went again. Roughly a minute after, he returned again. And off he went. He then reappears through the gap in the wall to the right on my wall. But a car came, so he disappeared back through the gap in the wall. Around 10 minutes later, Pip comes back, and then there is a fox running on the left-hand side of the picture. I'm unsure as to who that is from this angle. Pip runs over to meet the other fox, whoever it may be, and they have a little greeting, and then they both leave together. Two minutes later, Pip is back again, but off he goes. ChipChip comes walking down the road. Starts to eat, and then my camera froze, but I soon got it back on again. Watch for the photobomber on this one. Hello, Chip. And she takes a piece of chicken and leaves. Now, if you remember earlier, I said I'd seen another fox that wasn't one of the locals. Well, this is the said fox, and it actually seems very, very hungry. Two minutes later, he or she is back again. I think it's possibly a she. Takes some chicken and then goes to eat it under the car. Then takes another piece of chicken and runs off. Around 8 minutes later, the random fox can be seen out in the street, and then comes back into the garden for something else to eat. Two or 3 minutes later, the fox is back again. Pip arrives. Random Fox leaves the garden with Pip following. The random fox jumped over the wall as I was going outside to replenish the food bowl, and he or she ran off. Kenny and Norman both went outside. With this top camera, it only records for 20 seconds at a time unless I flick it over to record permanently, and then it will only record up to 3 minutes. ChipChip arrived, but I don't think she was too happy with Norman being there, as she soon left again, but she did return roughly half an hour later. Chip was out in the road at the beginning of this, and I was getting Kenny and Norman in, so hopefully I could give Chip some food, but she had run off. Half an hour later, Chip did return. And off she went with her chicken. Kenny wanted to go out again. And wandered around as if he owned the street. Still wandering around, bless him. Back into the garden, just checking things out. And he did eventually come back into the house. Cookie then arrived, but ran off as there was a car coming down the road. But he was soon back again. And off he went with his piece of chicken. Pip appeared through the gap in the wall. And ran because a car was coming. Pip returned again. And off he went. The random fox came and was eating some of the food, and then took a piece of the chicken and went to eat it under the car. He or she then came back from under the car, looked out on the street, and then went back towards the food. Took another piece of the chicken and then was hesitant. I didn't know if it was going to go under the car again to eat it or take it off, but decided to eat it in the garden. He or she did go off, leaving the chicken in the garden, but he or she did come back for it, even though it wasn't caught on camera.